not pay any attention to your reality. It sounds a little woo-woo, but everything I'm going to be talking about today has nothing to do with the woo-woo stuff. Let's look at it from more of a logical standpoint when it comes to not paying any attention to your reality. Reality is fully based upon what is going on right here, right now in your current life. What that means is that your reality is not based upon what you want to do or where you want to go or the achievements that you want to accomplish. It's completely and fully based upon what you have already done, what's currently going on. And so the thing is, if you want to have a different life, if you want to have a different outcome, if you're trying to change what you have going for you, you can't look towards what's happening right now in order to dictate if it's a good move, if it's a good decision, if this is going to work out. You're at the end of the day looking for evidence that's not there yet. And it's not there yet because you haven't done anything for it. Your life, everything that you want to accomplish, the things that you want to see happening, all of that, there has to be first faith and action that comes behind it, that goes with it. And you are trying to see the change before the actions for the change even begin. And in order to change your future, you have to change your current. So you have to be in the area that you're in, be in the reality that you're in, sit in the circumstances that you're in, and then make choices that completely go against what's happening right now. And so if you're looking for all of that evidence, and here's the thing, I don't think it's a bad thing to look towards a sign or trying to figure out if this is the right move for you. I don't think that's a bad thing. But when you're looking at it from the standpoint of constantly hyper checking the results, constantly hyper checking if this is the right move, what's going on, is this going to align with your destiny or whatever it may be, that's where there becomes a huge issue. That's where I feel like there becomes a disconnect, because you're looking for results before actions have been taken. You're looking for results before you have done what you need to do. So though we all do it, or at least most of us, from a logical standpoint, it literally makes no sense. It makes literally no sense at all. I believe that you actually have to ignore your reality in order to be able to move forward, in order to be able to change things. Because if all you're looking at is the things that are happening right now, well, you're not going to move very far from it. Like, this is kind of the bubble that you're going to be stuck in. Because if what was going on right now was what you wanted, then you wouldn't be looking for a sign. You wouldn't be looking for this being the right path. You wouldn't be looking for something to tell you or show you that you're going in the right direction. And so if you had everything that you were looking for right now, then there wouldn't be a need for change. So considering the fact that you're changing stuff, that literally means that everything that is going on in your life right now, everything that you see happening right now, you have to go against it. That's what change is. So when it comes to you, when it comes to your life, when it comes to what you're going to do, you need to make that decision that regardless of what you're seeing on the outside, regardless of how things are going on the outside, you are not going to allow that to dictate your further actions. And that's a part of the whole like imagination, using your mind type thing, is that you're not going to see it right now, because what you're wanting to do is different than what you're doing right now. So you literally cannot see it right now. So you have to be able to see it in your head so that you know what it is that you're even working towards. And once you know what it is that you're working towards, through seeing it in your head, not seeing it in the physical, the reality, that's where you start to build what you want. You start to build the reality that you want. You start to build those dreams that you want, the things that you want to happen. You start to build them. It's not about seeing it happen or seeing proof that it can occur or getting evidence that you will succeed. It's not about that, because it's not about if it can exceed or if it cannot succeed. It's about, are you going to build it or are you not going to build it? Because it's a choice. It's a choice. It's not like there is some defined answer to if something is going to work out or not. And yes, we do look for those type of things. I personally look for those type of things. But that is completely against how things work, because you can do it and you can also not do it. There's this quote, and it says, if you think that you can or you can't, you're right. And when you are trying to figure out if this is going to work out, you're looking towards all these signs, looking towards, your current circumstances and everything. It's almost as if you are deciding that there is a chance of something not being able to work out. You're looking at it from the perspective of something will not work out, something will not happen for you, and you need to know if this is something that's predestined to work or something that's predestined not to work. And the thing is, there's no something being predestined to work versus not being predestined to work. Like, that's not really much of a thing, because we have free will, which means that we can choose what we do. We could choose how much we work. We can choose our decisions at the end of the day. We have full choice over everything that we do. And if we have free will and we have free choice, that means that there is no, this is predestined to work, this is predestined not to work. It's, if you put in the work for it to work, then it will work. If you don't put in the work for it to work, then it just won't work. And it's all based upon choices. But when you're sitting here hoping and you're sitting here waiting and you're sitting here like looking towards a sign, looking towards reality, looking towards what you have going on right now, I'm gonna have to be a frame for a thing because it's not working for me. So when you're constantly having to, I'm so close right now, that's hilarious. Anyways, so when you're constantly looking towards something else, when you're constantly looking towards something to just happen in your reality to tell you that you should keep going, you're literally driving yourself in a circle. You're driving yourself in a loop, okay? You're literally like a little hamster on the wheel. And I do this all the time, which is why I can say that it's not good and it's very draining. My nose is like super sniffly today, so bear with me. But yeah, you're literally keeping yourself in a loop. You're keeping yourself in a hole. You're keeping yourself in this pattern of trying to seek out permission to act. And personally for me, I feel like you probably already know that this is a route that you should be going, or this is a route that you shouldn't be going. Like, I feel like you probably already have a good understanding of what's going to be good for you. And if you don't, then you should be getting advice. But I feel like you probably do. And if you know this, then you're kind of just looking towards excuses. You're trying to look towards, what's the best way to put it? Something to procrastinate on, of, I'm not doing this because I'm waiting to see something happen. I'm looking at my reality and my reality doesn't exactly look like it aligns, which again, like I mentioned, it's not going to, because you haven't put in the work yet. But it's really just a big excuse for waiting, for not acting, for not doing. So instead of sitting here going and looking for reasons to procrastinate, going and looking for reasons on why you shouldn't try or whatever, you need to start ignoring your reality. You need to start ignoring the things that you see and take away that excuse as well. Because when you're constantly looking, I've done this so many times, I still do it, of like constantly looking for a sign, constantly looking for, another reason to wait. You are literally setting yourself back. You are setting yourself back. You are not helping yourself. You are hurting yourself. And you may not even realize that you're doing it, because you know that you're supposed to be doing something. You're not doing it. You're looking for all these reasons to not do it. And so your success is literally set back. It's put on hold. It's put on wait. And it's sad because you're literally holding yourself back, but you're giving yourself like an excuse to hold yourself back. And there are a lot of people out here that are doing that, where they are waiting and they're like, well, I have to wait for something to happen. I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. And again, it's not a bad thing to ask for a sign. I've asked God for a sign and he has given it to me. But what did I do? I asked for a sign about 5 more times and he kept giving me signs and I kept asking for more. So checking your reality, looking for signs, looking for things to work out, looking for all that stuff before you even put in the work, it's an excuse, and it's holding you back, and it literally makes no sense. And again, I do this, okay? I do it. That's why I know that it literally makes no sense, and that's how I know that it's not helping you. And once you start to pull that blocker down, and I'm not gonna say that, oh, it takes 2 days and it's already gone. Like, if you can get to snap, crack, and popple for you like that, then, God bless. But it may take a little bit more time than that. It never takes me this long to put on no dang mascara. My mascara looks a little rough today, so whatever. But you may have to be patient with yourself. You may have to look at yourself and be like, you know what? I'm having to work through this really hurtful, negative mindset. I'm having to work towards this really destructive mindset. And I'm just going to act. I'm just going to move. And again, like I said, it may take time. It may take you doing it over a period of time, and you getting better and better and better at just doing the thing, at just acting. And I feel like you just doing the thing is what's going to get you to the place that you want to be. You not just doing the thing, you making a million excuses. You saying, I'm waiting for somebody to do this. I'm waiting for this to happen. I don't see it in my reality right now, so it's impossible for it to happen. Y'all, you're creating. You're doing something new. You're trying to figure out this new path that you're going down. And looking for perfection before you even start, you're trying to get the end before you've even began. Does that make sense to you? No. I know it don't. But you know what? We as humans tend to do that a lot. We tend to do stuff that literally makes no sense. We tend to look at stuff and be like, oh, I'm waiting for this, or I'm looking for this, or I'll wait till this perfect timing or whatever. And it literally makes no sense, but yet we keep doing it. Though it's normal, because it being normal is why it continues, to be fair. If it was like socially frowned upon, then you probably wouldn't be doing it as much. But that's where you have to start to reprogram yourself. You have to reprogram your mind. You have to reprogram how you look at life. And again, yes, it can be a process. I know that it has been a process for me, but it starts to click. Even if it's difficult at first, it starts to click eventually, and you realize, man, I've been looking at things all backwards, upside down, and turned around. And then things become so much different in your life because you're not looking for things to show you that this is the right decision. You're not looking for things to tell you that this is what you can and can't do. You're not looking for something to tell you, if it's possible or not, because it is possible. If somebody else has it, it's possible. Like, nothing is impossible if someone else has already achieved it. Someone else has already accomplished it. And the craziest thing is, like, right now, it may seem like whatever this is like a really big deal to you, but once you accomplish it, you're going to look back and be like, what in the world was I doing? What in the world was I thinking? That was so obtainable. That was so possible for me. And now I have even bigger goals than what I did then. And you're going to be looking back wondering, what in the world? Why was I stressing out so much about that? Why did I limit myself so much? And that's where you have to take off the limits and take off the stress of waiting. Have faith, but the waiting to work, the waiting to try, the waiting for everything, looking for signs, looking for things to happen in your life. That's where you have to cut it out. That's where you have to start looking at that aspect of your life differently. So start reading books, start watching people. Someone who I highly recommend to watch his name is Jim Rohn. I highly recommend listening to his seminars because he does a great job explaining how the difference between someone who is successful and you has nothing to do with your skills, with your abilities. Like, yes, still grow in that, so work on that, so try to be better. It's not that they have somebody who's successful, someone who's wealthy, has some type of superpower that you don't have. Like, you are fully capable of making things happen. You are fully capable of seeing things occur in your life, and you're fully capable of achieving strong success. And where you are in your life right now may not align to what your intelligence is, what your ability is, what your skill is. But that's where you find that disconnect and you connect it. And this video in particular has been about one of those disconnects is waiting and hoping and trying to look. Because if your bank account says something and you want it to be higher, but you're so focused on the number that it's in right now, you're not going to be able to go farther beyond that, because then you start to think, well, this is all that I see, this is all that can happen. You're not going to go like that much farther than that. So you have to be able to expand what you believe. You have to be able to expand what you understand can happen despite what is happening right now. There are times where you literally just have to ignore the results, ignore reality, ignore what people are telling you, ignore some of the things that you are seeing occur, because that does not mean that things cannot get better in the future. You are currently laying a foundation, and yet you are wanting to be at the end product. It's like you are starting, you are creating, you again are laying a foundation. You are laying the foundation. You have not built the house yet. So you have to have that level of patience with yourself as well. Because when you're rushing yourself, yes, you're gonna hyper check everything. You're gonna look at everything. You're gonna, stress out about everything. But some of that comes from the fact that you are rushing the process. You're rushing yourself, and you're not trusting that things are going to be able to happen. You're not trusting that what you imagine can happen will happen. And that's where you have to understand that something has to be imagined first before it can be created. So you can't wait to look at something be created and then be like, okay, once it's created, then I believe that it can happen, because that's backwards. That's not how it was made. Like this house that I'm in, the bathroom that I'm in right now, all these hair products and stuff, like it wasn't created before it was imagined. And so if the natural process of things occurring is through imagination, then implication, then creation, then why are you trying to do it backwards? And that's where it's not gonna be able to work out the way that you want it to, at the pace that you want it to be, and how easy you want it to be, and how smoothly you want it to be. My nose is getting clogged. Because you are doing the entire process backwards, okay? So there's imagination, implication, creation. You're trying to do creation, and then implication, and then, you just want to live in it. So fix the pieces. Move the dominoes, because they're in the wrong spot right now. Looking at your reality too much can lead to significant discouragement. Doing it in the wrong way can also lead to significant discouragement. So please change the way that you're doing it, because I heavily believe that you can accomplish so much more than what you think that you can. But it's the way that you are acting, it's the way that you're looking at things, it's the way that you see yourself, the way that you see your life, that is making a huge difference on what can happen for you. So something as simple as just changing the processes, of just changing how you see creation of a life that you want. Just by changing that, it can make the biggest difference than what you think can happen. And I would give a short example for something in my life. I know that I graduated college, and in my last month of college, a lot of crazy stuff happened. I got, which left me very, very sick. I was very, very sick from COVID, and I was out for quite a while. But at the same time, this was my last month of college, and I had 6 months worth of work to do in 3 weeks. And obviously, that didn't look too good. It was looking like I wasn't about to graduate. And so I was sitting here like, no, I have to graduate. I have to get this done. I don't want to have to go back to school for another term. And it wasn't like going back to school for another term was bad. I was ahead when it comes to like graduating early, but I was like, I need to get this done. Like, I do not want to go back to school for another term. So I imagined me finishing it. And what it looked like was me having 3 days to finish a month's work of school. So every 3 days, I needed to finish a whole month's worth of school. And so was it stressful? Yes. But I imagined that it'd be able to happen. I prayed about it heavily, and I acted upon it. I did not wait to look to see if my reality said that it could happen, because I had looked at my previous terms in school, and I was like, you know what? I've never done anything like this before. I've never gotten this much work done in such a short period of time before. So this was a whole new ball game. It was something that was very stressful, that most people would have looked at and said, that's not going to work out. Even my counselor, she was very supportive, but she was still very nervous for me, especially because I was sick this entire time, very sick this entire time, having to stay in bed all day, and yet I still finished. I still graduated, and I did it. And it was crazy because it was like, whoa, I like, me and the Lord, we did this. Like, I felt so relieved. And when you do that once, you start to see that there are so many more possibilities for your life. You start to see that you can do so much more than what you currently think that you can do. All you need to do is push yourself to do it at least once. And then you give yourself evidence, you give yourself proof of what can happen. You give yourself proof that you can actually make these things occur in your life. And once you have that proof for yourself, that's enough to continue motivating you. Yeah, there's still gonna be struggles, you're still gonna be stressed, yeah, all that stuff. But it sets a good foundation for your belief in what you can do. So please stop discouraging yourself from overlooking at reality, comparison, all these things that I talk about on my channel. There are steps to it, and I don't want you to feel rushed. I don't want you to feel behind. The fact that you're even on this video right now is a sign that you're wanting to grow. And that is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. So please make sure to take care of yourself, consider yourself, be patient with yourself, be loving towards yourself, and give yourself what you need. Listen to the audiobooks, read the books, listen to the seminars, watch the videos, watch this video, and subscribe if you did enjoy and if it provided some type of helpfulness to you, some value. But fill yourself up. Take care of yourself, please. Please make sure to take care of yourself physically, financially, mentally, and spiritually. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.